Good morning, I'm Derek with Extant Labs. I started out in the shooting industry almost 20 years ago as a stock boy and worked my way up to be the buyer for one of America's largest gun shops. And today I'm going to show you how to break down, clean, and lube Springfield XD 9mm Mod 2. Starting with basic tools, we've got a bore snake, toothbrush, dental pick. Of course we have our gun, Q-tips, and some patches. And we're going to be using Echo 2.5. This gun's already been lubed with alpha sauce once before, but we're going to clean it and re-lube it with that. So we're going to start with basic breakdown. First step obviously is remove the magazine, check chamber, make sure it's clear, double, triple check that, no mistakes. Rotate your takedown lever, release the slide, pull the trigger, off it comes. You can see the remnants of the alpha sauce that's still on here. This has been carried for several weeks and it's all still fully there. It's not run off. It's got full lubrication still intact. And you can even see it here on the inside of the slide as well. So out comes the recoil spring and the barrel. So we got our slide apart, pretty simple, easy. And we can proceed to clean. So we'll start with running a bore snake through the barrel. Make sure that it's properly clean. Get all the gunk out of there. And then put a little bit of our cleaning gel that's in our Echo 2.5 on the brush section, so that it fully permeates our bore. So our barrel is nice and clean now. Let's wipe out the outside. We'll re-lube this at the end. We want to make sure we clean off any particles. Especially down in this square groove right here and on our feed ramp. So that's all done. Just to give general wipe down of the recoil spring. So that's all set. And then we're going to wipe out all the contact surfaces of the slide itself. Get carbon, dust, pocket lint, whatever collects. All the things that a gun being carried every day collects. We don't want to have to worry about those if we ever get in a situation. Any kind of fouling. Also make sure that we get any kind of fouling off of the inside of the front of the slide here where the barrel contacts. Any kind of particularly hard particles in there could actually cause a stoppage, get the barrel jammed in place, which would be bad news. And then of course wipe off our breech face, use a Q-tip for that, it's a lot easier to get in there. Make sure you clean up underneath the extractor hook if you can. If there's anything under there, we want to make sure that all of that is free from any foreign object or matter. And you can run that in the grooves of the slide as well, just to get anything that's left. Make sure that you see nothing here on the back side around your striker assembly and your extractor mechanism. So that's our slide clean, and then now we're going to get the little bits that are on the slide or the frame itself. Flip that down out of the way so we can get in here. Locking block. The heart and soul of the gun here. We want to make sure that that stays pristine. I really like the way that Springfield has designed this. There's a lot more beef and solid, thick, heavy-duty steel all around here where all the impact comes. When your barrel is sitting here and your barrel is locked up in place like so, you've got a whole lot of steel surrounding your locking mechanism here. This has a full rail system, double rail system on both sides that captures your slide. So that's your unbreakable. I've never seen one of these break or have any kind of malfunction, which I can't say about Glock. I have seen locking blocks break on a Glock. It's rare, but it does happen. Just make sure we get all this off. If you have some canned air, that's nice to get this fuzz off once you're done. So that's all nice and clean. So now we can re-lube and reassemble. Alright, so if you have anything particularly stubborn down in your channels, your locking block, down in your frame, anywhere in here, you can use the toothbrush or a pick if it's really, really stubborn. As long as things are staying lubed up with Echo 2.5 with that cleaning gel in it, pretty much nothing is going to stick. You're going to prevent the formation of that carbon scale that can happen on your steel parts, especially here as it contacts here. When you've got all the flash that's going on here, you do have burnt carbon and things that are getting in this area, and as long as that all that additional heat is going to cause carbon scale to form unless you prevent it in some way. So that's why I use Echo 2.5 with the gel in it, for that exact reason. So we're going to start with relubing the barrel first. Put a little dab here. Use the end of your finger to get it spread around the top. Underside slightly, but the top is where most of the contact happens. A lot of people don't realize that the lockup on any of these drop barrel action semi-autos is actually a 3-point lockup. You have a point of contact here, a point of contact here, and a point of contact on the bottom, so essentially creating a tripod effect. It's not full contact all around that sphere. And the two contacts that bear the load are here on the top of the slide, and that's where you start to see wear as you get more round count. That's why you don't see as much wear on the bottom, other than just some scrape wear from running in the slide. So that sets in there like that. And then we insert our recoil spring. Make sure that it's centered this way, and that when we look at it this way, that it's flush, or almost perfectly flush with the rest of the slide, all in a line. If it's cockeyed one side or the other, or tipped up or down, then there's a problem. It's improperly installed, so we just double check that. And then using that handy little needle, we get a little dab down the channel of the slide. And then on the frame itself, we want to make sure that locking block, since that's the heart and soul of our gun, that's where all those bearing surfaces and all that force hits, is on this one piece. So we want to make sure that it's always got the proper amount of lube and keep that scale from forming on the those steel parts. And then just a little dab on the back side here. This actually, this rail piece here doesn't actually bear much weight or impact very much force, because that's all happening here. This just basically keeps the slide on and in line with that piece. But your actual your physical forces are occurring here on this rail. This is just to hold it in place. So we rotate our takedown lever back up all the way to the rear. Drop the lever, and we're back, ready to rock and roll. Back in my holster, back on my hip, ready to go. Protect me and my family.